Have you guys ever had to mourn the loss of one of your most favorite memades? Well, that is my current dilemma. One of my favorite memade dresses is ruined. If you're curious to see what I'm going to do about it, then please keep watching this video. Hey stitchers, your girl Chris here. Welcome back to my channel where we obsess over sewing. So you guys, I made a dress, I think it might have been 4 or so years ago. And it is without a doubt one of my favorite memade dresses to wear to work. I was doing a closet clear out just the other day. I did record some footage, but I'm not sure if it's yet here on the channel. If it is, then I'll drop the thumbnail in here or here. If not, then please keep a lookout for that one. And whilst I was doing my closet clear out, I discovered that my memade dress had a hole in it. You guys, I went into full panic mode. I could not believe that I had washed and ironed my dress and had not noticed this hole right under the armpit of my frock. Needless to say, I can no longer wear my dress. Now, some of you probably are thinking, well, why not just mend it? But you guys, let me grab my dress so that I can share with you exactly what the problem is. All right, so meet McCalls 7920. I think this was View C, and I made it using this rainbow linen that I picked up from Joanne during one of my trips to the United States of America. Now, at one point, you guys, this fabric was all the rage over on Instagram. I swear everybody and their mama was making something out of this fabric, and I chose to make this dress out of it. So, whilst I was doing my fabric clean out, I noticed this hole in my dress. It's not really that big, all things considering, but it is right under the armpit of my dress. Now you're probably thinking, well, why not just sew it back together? I realized that the fabric actually started eating into the dress, like past my seam allowance. And even if I were to try and run like a stitching line through my dress, then it would eat into some of the width across my bust area. Now again, what's the problem with losing a little bit of width across the bust area? Now, you guys, as I said, I made this dress like 4 or so years ago, and my body has changed a lot in those 4 years, including having a whole child. So that means that your girl has put on a little bit of extra weight. And truth be told, this dress was getting a little bit snug across the bust area and especially across the midsection. And so I feel like even if I were to mend this dress and sort of just to deepen the seam of this dress, it would have the effect of narrowing the width across my bust area. And I don't actually think I can manage to lose any width across my bust. And so I don't want to end up looking like a hot dog in my dress. And I feel like the time has come for me to part with this dress. Maybe I might consider refashioning it into something else because I really do like the fabric. But you guys, I really have gotten my money's worth out of this dress. I have worn it, as I said, tons of times. It has been washed and pressed tons of times. And I think the time has come for this one to rest in peace. So let us just have a moment for my dress. All right, guys, that's it. So this is my pattern, McCalls 7920, and this one actually came out in 2019. As I said, my first iteration was View C, and I think I'm actually going to make View C again because I really found the silhouette of this dress to be quite flattering. Now, usually I prefer to have a skirt that flares out in the way that View A and B does because I feel like a flared skirt helps to balance out my rectangular body shape. But once I made View C and I tried it on, I was astonished to find that I was in love with the fit of this dress. Now this pattern comes in a size 6 up to 22, so it's not the most size inclusive, and it has 2 different envelopes. Now this envelope is the size 14 to 22, and I think I made the size 14 at the neckline and the shoulder, blended out to a 16 at the arm side, and then up to a size 18 at the waistline only on my front pattern pieces. So on my front bodice and on my front skirt, because I am larger in the front of my body than I am in the back of my body. No, you guys, as I said, I have put on a little bit more weight and I'm a little bit more round around the tummy area and across the bust area. And I'm thinking that for my next iteration, I'm just going to sew a smaller seam allowance. Now, one of the good things about the Big Five patterns is that it comes with a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, and that gives you a little bit more wiggle room to adjust your seam allowances on the fly. So I think when I'm constructing this dress, I'm going to construct the entire front dress first, then the entire back dress, and then I'm going to leave the side seams as one of my last seams that I sew so that I can baste it together, try it on, and check out the fit, and sew smaller seam allowances if necessary. I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I want to adjust my pattern pieces too much. I was pretty happy with the overall fit of even my first iteration, but I do realize that I could afford to have a little bit more ease for comfort and so that my buttons don't gape. So I think that's the solution that I'm going to go with for this dress. Now that you have seen my pattern, then it's time for you to see my fabric. So let me just run ahead and pull it up. Now, you guys, linen is actually one of the recommended fabrics on the back of the pattern envelope. Now, I have shared a video right here on the channel about pairing your patterns to your fabric. So if that is something that you might be interested in, I'll drop the thumbnail in right here so you can check out that video after you finish watching this one. So I got this linen fabric from Mood Fabrics, and it has been in my stash for far too long. And I think it's about time that I convert this fabric into something that I can rock in my wardrobe. And I thought that this dress would be perfect. Now, my first iteration was made in linen, and even though it had like that dolman or like kimono type sleeve, because it was a linen, it relaxed enough around the arm side so that it didn't end up looking awkward. Now, when you're using something with a dolman sleeve, just like this top that I have on right now, you can expect some like folding or crumpling at the underarm just because of the nature of a dolman sleeve. But I find like in more drapey and floaty fabrics, it's not as noticeable as it would be if you use a fabric with very little drape. So as I said, I picked up 3 yards of this fabric from Mood Fabrics. It is a linen fabric, and I think this is going to be perfect. It's also in black and black and white are perfect colors for me to wear to work. Now, unfortunately, I cannot wear color to work every single day. I can't wear colors to court, and so on days like that, it is nice to have some cool memades made up in more conservative color schemes. So I think that this fabric and that pattern are going to pair quite nicely for my work wardrobe. Now, on a side note, I'm also doing the 30-yard challenge currently running over on Instagram. It's hosted by, I think her handle is Pink Mimosa by Jacinta. I'll put it here on the screen so that you can go and check it out if you too want to participate in this challenge. Now, in short, the challenge is aimed at using up fabric that has been languishing in our stashes. You guys, I know if you're anything like me, you probably have an overwhelming fabric stash that you need to quell. And this is the perfect challenge in which to do it. Now, the trick of this challenge is that you're not allowed to purchase any fabric or any notions before you are finished sewing up your 30 yards. Now, I haven't quite solidified all of my plans for that challenge, but I do know that I want to make 3 mini collections in that challenge of 10 yards each. Each collection is going to be centered around a different color scheme. And I know I do want to have a black and white collection. I do want to have a pink or pink and purple kind of collection. And I think I want to also have a green collection. Now, once I have those thoughts sort of put together, then I'm definitely going to be sharing them with you here on YouTube. So if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, now is the perfect time to hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell on so that when that video drops, you don't end up missing it. Now, as I said, for my black and white collection, this fabric is definitely going to play a part in that collection. Now, for my dress, in my size measurements, and for the view I want to sew, it does have, I think, 1 7/8 yard as the recommended fabric. So I'm just going to round that up to 2 yards. So my first 2 yards in that 30-yard challenge is going to be this fabric with the McCalls 7920. So that is 2 yards out of the 10 yards that I want to dedicate to the black and white collection. As I said, stick around for further plans on this challenge and on my collection. Now, you guys, that is all I needed to share with you today. It is raining cats and dogs here. We are actually under tropical storm watch, and I'm taking this opportunity to go ahead and get some sewing time in. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down below and let me know whether you will be participating in the 30 yards challenge and what you think of my fabric and pattern pairing. That is all I needed to share with you guys today. So until next time, stay calm, stay cool, stay safe, and absolutely keep sewing. Peace.